seems to be the final interrupt of the night. We should be all good from here. Poll time hasn't changed, with still 11 minutes left. Cubile and Gore are both fairly close, less than 1/10 off. And we've got a whole host of guys coming out of the pits for their second flying lap. Looks like Jordan will be setting his first time in the session. Rogue gets off, but that's only an outlap, that's fine. Radical going a bit slow, who knows. Following Jordan. Jordan seems to be slowing down. Apologies again for the interrupt. Yeah, looks like Jordan is slowed down. He'll be scrubbing that lap and coming on for another hot lap. He's on 10% tire wear. Alex is a 101, so is Radical, also 101. They've got just over a second to knock off their time. Rad's got a second and a bit, actually, so I imagine that was not the cleanest lap for him on his part. He probably thinks he can do better. Rogue going wide, I think that'll invalidate his lap. We see Babushka taking a very cautious line. A very optimistic line. I believe that might be an invalidation for him. I'm not sure. I don't have the stats on that yet. I can tell you though that he is doing fairly well, although I will say Gore, or sorry, not Gore, Cubile is looking to be my favorite right now. He is the fastest times in sectors 1 and 2, but he is about 2/10 off of Babushka's sector 3 time, so it can only go up for him, I think. He only has one sector to really pin down, and if he can get that done, then it'll be fairly smooth sailing for him. And Gore gets a 59, or first sub 1 minute, first sub minute lap of the, lap of the race. And Van Beets puts in a fairly good time. Didn't see that one, but that'll be putting him up into B3. He's within the just 5 milliseconds up on. Oh, Sahil gets a 59.5. That is a whole half second ahead of P3, and that'll be 3/10 ahead of Gore. So now we really see the track evolution coming into play. Looks like that was a bit of pit lane contact, but of course that's AI controlled, so not too much player drama. Looks like we've got a whole host of guys on their hot laps. And it seems like this short track is slowly killing my telemetry application. There'll be someone letting Ruta by. Road going into the pits. Righteous. Looks to be on a hot lap. 6/10 down in sector 1 though, so it won't be the brightest time for him. Sorry, just making another adjustment to the overlay. Hopefully you can see the stats a bit better there from the vehicle status. Didn't miss much. Righteous up to P4. Ruta up into P2 with a 59.7. That is taking a 10.5 off of Gore. Still has 2/10 to go to match the heel's time. Looks like someone's in and out of the session again. Shazam, seen his name before. Trying to join the session earlier. Now Krieg's in the Toro Rosso. I imagine we'll be coming for his hot lap. Oh, sorry, nope, he's on 2 ERS, will not be coming for his hot lap. Let's see who else. Wizard just out of the pits. Out of the pits, out of the pits. Righteous into the pits. Ruda will be going into the pits. He just completed a hot lap. Kriegs will be starting his hot lap, hopefully. I'm not sure why he's keeping his fuel and ERS low, but it would seem to be that either that was a hot lap and he's slowing down, or he's going for another run, which I couldn't imagine why he would be doing that. Alex Butter coming across the line to start his hot lap, maybe? Yes. Yes, he will. He's on 5 ERS. Follow him for a bit. Later, Kriegs, still not putting on a high ERS mode. He's still in 2, and his fuel is in 2. He's got... Well, it doesn't actually tell me. It does not tell me how much... oh no, he has 1.3 laps of fuel left. He might be going for... Wow, that was incredibly close to one of the... That was incredibly close to Jordan, giving him like a little salute there. Kriegs into the pits here? I'm not entirely sure. Let's go follow Alex. He'll be just finishing his hot lap now. Bit of a lockup. Doesn't have the cleanest entry into that corner. Still got a lot of ERS left. Putting it across the line only improves by less than a tenth. So that time might improve just a bit with Track Evolution. They have time for maybe another 2 laps. Ooh, that looked like Daniel going a bit wide, but ended up not being. Bit of lag here. Oh, rogues across the circuit. Sakil doesn't get enough. It was Cuban Lake who puts himself up with another sub 1 minute time. That'll be a 59.7. That is slightly below Gore. Oh yeah, I'm getting a bit of lag. I believe tack that the telemetry is on. It's showing that it's on for me at least. It is very laggy, but it is on. Got Righteous coming across the line to start his hot lap using mode 4. ERS mode 5, fuel mode 4. Got a lot of people starting. Wow, that is straddling the curb. Very good line from Bro. My eye on him. I think he might put in a fairly impressive time. Oh, doesn't think GameFX too well, goes wide. I'm not sure if that's the preferred line. I haven't done much driving on the Bahrain short track, actually. I always knew I'd be commentating tonight, so no need to put in that many hours. Gets a fairly good entry there. This is the apex. No, he's going for the pits. Going for the pits in high fuel mode and high RS. Interesting, interesting. I guess these guys don't play career mode, because you don't want to burn your engine like that in career mode. Or it might have been a last-minute bail, I'm not sure, to get the new set of tires on, because it is his last chance. I think if Righteous goes for this, I don't think he'll have another chance to get a hot lap in, because he'll have 1 minute and 30 to get into the pits, get everything changed. I don't think 30 seconds is enough, actually, to get moved into the pits, tires changed, and back out, because, of course, you can't just do a drive-through pit stop in F1, unlike Project Cars or Super Corsa. Got Wizard coming across the line, slows down after making it up into P9. That's good for him. Sakil on a hot lap. Sakil in the Alfa Romeo. Looks to be on a hot lap, yes. Gets a clean entry there. Power down all the way to the end of this straight into the long left. Righteous also seems to be on a hot lap. Oh yeah, we talked about it before. He might want to come into the pits for this one. And it looks like he is angling for the pits. It'll be a rush to see if he gets in. I don't know why he's slowing down that much. That might have been not the best move for him. It'll be interesting to see whether Sakil will go into the pits. Probably not. Absolutely not, actually. There's no chance. He takes a bit of curb on that entry, gets a fine enough exit, doesn't go wide or have any moments, and across the line for a drop of about 3/100ths off of his time. Gore looks like he is on a hot lap. ERS mode 4 on a straight. Sorry, he's starting his hot lap. ERS mode 4 on the straight. No, I misspoke. He was completing a hot lap, dropped 2/10ths. Good job from him. ERS on the straights, very good. Thank you, me, for typing a comment to myself. That wasn't fucking trippy. Rudo coming out of turn 2, turn 3 into the complex. I can't tell if he's on a hot lap. He is on a hot. P.S. Just as a advisory to everyone, keep your telemetry open. It very much helps me. Cubile also seems to be starting a hot. Oh boy, just about everyone's starting a hot lap. I think Rope goes a bit wide. Think that'll be invalidation. He's trying to qualify in the mediums. That's interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. I wonder if anyone else did that and I was not observant enough. My apologies. Van ducking into the pits, and that is qualifying over. These guys ducking into the pits for who knows what reason. Surely you would have just crossed the line, but alright. Van retires from the session. Babushka letting someone by. He might as well retire. He's got no point to stay on the track. And let's watch the finishing order. Gore's up into P3. Righteous into P2. Sakil keeps pole position. Ruda, Kubile locks in. So the top 5 at the moment are locked in. Believe Babushka did move out of someone's way, so the top 6 are locked in. Up to the top 10. And that should be it, unless Creamy can. Actually, I should say that. Yes, Creamy can pull in a good time. That is 6 sub 1 minute times. That's very, very good from him. Sorry for ever doubting you, Creamy. Didn't realize you were. And that, I think, is the end of our qualifying. Alright, and the starting order will be Sakil to Righteous to Gore, Ruda and Kubile to unknowns in this league, Creamy up into 6th, Babushka, Van, Rogue, and Wizard round out the top 10, Daniel in 11, Chipsy, Alex, Jordan into 4. Oh! Kriegs and Ranical both take 5 position grid penalties. Couldn't see what they were for. That is, maybe not so helpful to them. I wonder what that's for. I didn't catch anything on stream, I don't think, so. Hopefully that wasn't an incident that needs to be reported. We do, as I said, have FIA on standby just in case. And I believe the incidents will count towards your penalty points in the season. Of course, we have a penalty system. If you acquire, I believe it's 15 penalty points, you get a qualifying ban, 25 is a race ban, and 50 your position in the view will be in the league will be under review, because realistically in one season I don't think you should be able to get up to 50 penalty points without being a terrible racer or having very bad luck. But we're just waiting for the final 2 guys to load in. Hopefully there are no lobby issues. The lights are going off pretty quick. And we are away! Looks like everyone's away. Sakil doesn't get the best start. Immediately jumped by Righteous. And it looks like Sakil retains 2nd position. There's some action in the midfield. Creamy loses a crap ton of positions. He'll have spun out. But the top 3... Oh, and the Ferraris get out of shape. And it's chaos in the midfield. Of course it is. I believe one of the Ferraris pushed another Ferrari into the final Ferrari. So nice. It looks like, yeah, that Ferrari's missing his front wing. That'll be... Oh, and Gore gets by Sahil. That'll be Sahil into third, and both the Williams off the start like a rocket. Kubele and Daniel having a bit of a swap there. Looks like the Merc and the Red Bull. Merc forces the Red... Oh, wow! That is some hard racing. And of course, a lot of these guys haven't raced with us before, so we're not really sure about their driving style. Hopefully no one gets punted. This is all extremely close. Gonna follow along with the Red Bull here. Looks like Daniel got by... Jordan got by Kubele, and... Ooh, looks like the Merc takes to the inside, gets the spot. Will he get the switchback? Yes, he will. Keeps it in front. Renault following closely behind. And it looks like one of the racing points. Yep, there's Calamity at the back again, as Daniel gets sent to the back. Everyone's fairly close. Not sure exactly which gaps to watch. Rogue loses spot, and the Merc gets by. So that'll be Van up from 6th past the Merc and his Ferrari teammate. Although we're not really counting team points today. I do say, but the Williams seem to be doing fairly well with each other. Righteous and Gore love to race with each other. Sakil put it into DRS mode 4. Might be a bit smart to save it until the DRS opens, but who knows. Van, a decent way off now. That's a 4-second gap created by the top 3. And we'll see if there's a dive. It looks like Babushka loses position to Creamy. We know Creamy's a fairly good racer, so coming up from the back shouldn't be that hard. Although we do have a lot of unknown competition. And what are these guys doing? Looks like the... Oh, we have a DMR driver getting a warning. I didn't realize we had a DMR guy in here. Creamy gets a position on Shazam. Shazam, as we all know, an old wizard embodied in a kid's body who turns into an adult. That's, yeah. Hopefully someone watched that movie and got that reference. It looks like Righteous is now pulling a gap to his teammate. Second here. Sakil will be coming across the line. Will he be projected into mode 4? That now that he knows DRS is available, he's got a decent amount of energy left. DRS should become available on this lap. Yes, it does. He gets by, and I'm very sure that Gore will get that position back, and he does. I accidentally missed it. Hit the wrong key. Looks like there's action back over here with Jordan, Chipsy, Shazam losing out to his McLaren teammate, getting by the Renault, or holding against the Renault, forces the Renault wide. And we got the DMR driver into the pits to serve a drive-thru, I assume, maybe for a jump start, I would guess. Oh, the Merc gets past Van, and the Merc, Ruda, is past both Ferraris. Now, Sahil hot on the tail of Gore. Gore seems to have chopped into the 1.1 second lead that Righteous had, so I would assume, I would hope that Righteous had made a mistake, or else it shows that in clean air, Gore can really get some work done on him. Rogue passed his teammate with the help of DRS. I imagine there's going to be a lot of DRS train jumping on this track. Going back up. Doesn't look like there's much action over there. Van still dropping behind. Watching. This is always a bundle of fun with the Haas drivers and the Racing Point. Doesn't seem to be much happening back here. It does look like there's Kubele in the Renault. Might be going for a move on Wizard. Yes, he does. Gets past the Red Bull. Let me just go ahead and get this up. We see, yeah, of course, some fuel drops some positions. Creamy, we know. Babushka and Daniel did not know they dropped in any positions, but here we are. Looks like the DMR driver's onto the mediums. Nobody qualified on the mediums, it would seem, or at least nobody stuck to it below the top 10. Chuck on some of that, just so everyone doesn't need to crane their necks to look at the data. And then actually we can go back to tires. Actually, you know what? Tires at this point are kind of useless. We'll just stop. Kriegs gets by Radical. Jubilee gets by Wizard. That looks like that Red Bull is just shoving that Renault through corners. It'll be interesting. Oh, that's a collision and a half. The Red Bull gets a bit out of shape on the exit and sends Jordan, the Haas driver, flying. Wow, wow, wow. Jordan all the way back into 15th. That doesn't bode well for trying to get that. That is getting your elbows out to a different degree, and it looks. I have a feeling that Creamy will try to get by the Red Bull, but considering what he just saw, he might be a bit cautious coming for a move. Gives him a decent berth of space, not that unusual, and then just tries to make it through the corner. Red Bull has no contention there whatsoever, and that is the move done. Kriegs gets a move done on Jordan. Jordan obviously has damage, not that hard to do, but so we have it. Jordan into the pits. Chipsy going side by side with Red Bull. Red Bull losing out. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he get a poor start? Or sorry, a poor exit? Or was he just not using his ERS? He was on mode 2, I believe. So who knows at that point? Oh, I completely missed this. Sorry. Sahil gets past Gore into second position. Or maybe I didn't miss it. No, I did. I definitely did. I saw it the first time and Gore got it back. Yeah, it'll look like DRS trains are very much a thing. Sakil, if he loses Righteous, will absolutely stick out. Oh! Righteous gets bent a bit out of shape, goes a bit wide on that exit, and Sakil is right on his back now. Can Sakil get the move done on this DRS straight? That's not helpful. Camera, game, please? I don't want to look back on the rear of a car. Train. Righteous having to deal with no DRS. Sahil saving his energy for another move, and it looks like it sets him up to be in a good position. He's got 73% of his energy left, and the cars around him both of 30. Righteous going wide doesn't hinder him. Acceleration on the curbs isn't that bad, especially for that little. But it'll be interesting to see, because Righteous doesn't have the benefit of DRS. As we know, DRS is the equivalent of a minivan. And, you know, brakes and lava, whatever. We know that Sahil will have a fairly easy time getting by him. No, Sahil is actually doing a very smart thing here. He'll be using the DRS to save his energy and just coast up to Righteous, so he could use it at a different opportunity. He doesn't need to burn all of his ERS. What he doesn't know is Righteous is struggling for his energy right now. That would have been a perfect time. He wouldn't have had an opportunity to strike back. If he threw it into 3, he might have gotten the job done and not have had time. Righteous wouldn't have had time to get him back on this DRS straight, because it's a bit shorter, the second one. It's a bit shorter, and Righteous didn't have enough energy to fight the rest of the Sahil. Sahil might have had more energy than him. Of course, he doesn't have DRS. But for that for that medium-sized straight, it might not have hindered him that much. But there's no way to tell. Their tires, all fairly similar. They're at the Jordan's on new hards after that shunt. And let's see what happens here. No, Sahil doesn't try to get by. He's still saving energy. But he loses the position to Gore. He retains the position just barely, but I think Gore will get by. Yeah, Gore does get by. Sahil absolutely should have used his energy, because what he's done, while saving up to 100%, he's allowed Gore and Righteous to regenerate a lot of their energy. He was before at a... Oh! Gore gets by Righteous. And that is Gore up into first. I think we'll see these guys fight throughout the most of the race, but... Sahil easily could have had that position had he burned all of his energy. He was too focused on saving it, when he didn't need to. You need to burn some to at least get up positions. And now Sahil might be in a good spot to get onto Righteous, but now Righteous has the DRS to compete with him, and you can tell that Righteous, he might not use Mode 4, right, he's going to use Mode 5, which is actually slightly less use than Mode 4 on straights, but he's going to use that to keep the distance between him and Sahil. Sahil, you know, still not burning energy. Sahil needs to get a move on with this. I don't know if he's saving it for an overcut, and he's going to be using it on his hot laps, but who really knows? The Renault gets by Van. Van, low on energy. Renault, decent amount of energy. And let me tell you, all the passes here are definitely going to be a combination of energy use and DRS. And there's a bit of muckery going on where you have to guess how much energy is the guy in front of you used. You have to kind of guess by his lap times. And oh, Righteous gets bent out of shape coming out of the exit of the DRS straights, and that is Sahil by him. That is a good work by Sahil. Hopefully, I pray. No, Righteous gets right back by Sahil because he's using his energy. Does Sahil decide to use his? He finally does. And I think this should be a smooth move for Sahil because... oh no! No! Sahil doesn't have DRS because he let Righteous by at the wrong moment. Well, of course he didn't let him by, but Sahil didn't have DRS because he was behind, or he was ahead at the detection point, and Righteous got by before the detection point. Sorry, after the detection point, so he got the DRS, and now they've actually lost a full second to the leader by squabbling like this. Sahil could have easily closed this gap, and I hope he does, because Sahil has the energy to get this move done. Now, yep, oh! Righteous makes a mistake. Maybe a mistake, maybe there was light contact. Oh, but he backs off across the track, sends someone just a bit wide. They won't be too happy about that, but no hard feelings. Righteous down into 4th position and a decent way back. That'll have messed with his tire temps. His rears are definitely spiked, unfortunately for him. I couldn't tell you whether that was a Vettel spin in Spoon or a Vettel spin in Bahrain where he just gets too close and loses it. I'm not sure if there was contact or not. What I was going to say, oh, Rogue gets by Righteous. Righteous down into 5th position. That's not so great for him. He will get the move back on both of them, and Rogue, taking a bit of a cut there, still ends up at the back of that train. What I was saying about Sahil. Sahil had a lot of energy to go around, and he was about to not use it to get by Righteous on that straight. I think he might have been saving for another move. Well, now is his time to use all of his energy to catch back up, get back within the slipstream of Gore, and needs to deplete Gore's energy enough. So let him ride the slipstream for a lap or two, deplete Gore's energy, trying to hold off Sahil, maybe next lap, and then as soon as Gore is out of energy from defending, and Sahil still has a lot, like right now, Gore is out of energy. If Sahil knew this, he could absolutely pull off the move on the next straight, and, well, of course he has to close the gap. He has to use his energy to get that gap closed and pass. And when you pass somebody without energy, it gets just that much harder to keep up. Sahil just needs to use his energy, really close that gap. Don't allow Gore to regenerate, and just keep him pressed. Although it is coming to pit time, so it might be a good idea for Sahil to save for an overcut, put in a very fast, very quick in lap, and then a very fast, very good out lap, both on hot lap. The only problem there is you run the risk of being Lewis Hamilton in Brazil. When Max catches back up, his battery is dead, and he yells, "Well, my battery's fucking dead," because he can't use his energy, and energy is everything, especially on power circuits like this, where it's essentially a couple of corners connecting two very long straights. I cannot understate the power of power. The power of this hybrid energy unit. is just tremendous. And Sahil's keeping his reserves high, running Gore out, but Sahil's gonna need to use some of his energy to close that gap to within DRS range, and then use his energy while Gore still hasn't recovered to get by and create the gap that he needs to. Sahil needs to deplete his energy to make it to pull out 2 seconds in the next couple of laps. He needs a second to catch up to Gore, and he needs another second to get by him and put him out of DRS range. And that is how he can win this race before the stint is over. Who can tell after the next stint? I imagine they might be pitting fairly soon. It's 57 laps, so it'll definitely be a two-stopper. They're probably going to go onto soft, medium, soft. Who really knows? But they're getting up to the 50% wears, especially Sahil on his rears, spinning it on exit just a bit. I don't know, I'm paying attention back to the midfield. We can see that they're fairly close. Rogue is making a move on Righteous as we speak, actually. You can see Rogue has underfueled his car, used all of his his ERS to get by, and now Creamy still has a reserve for the next corner, and Righteous, he has a decent amount. Righteous kind of forces forces the Merc wide there. Rogue gets a penalty for multiple warnings. I imagine he might have cut that corner as we saw a couple of laps ago. Now Creamy gets by Rogue. This is just all switching positions now. One of them's got to save their energy, just ride the slipstream, and then get by when the other two are still recovering their energy. Mercedes gets wide. Creamy is getting wide, allowing Chipsy to get into the mix for this group. Chipsy letting the Merc back in. It would have been really easy for him to just put his car in a position where a rejoin would be not impossible, but fairly dangerous. It's good for him. And now we will ride on board with Chipsy. He's not close enough. We'll ride on board with... Van into the pits. Van is the first to blink in terms of pit stop. Sorry about that poor camera work. Babushka gets passed by Daniel, Wizard gets passed by Daniel, bumps him twice. Rogue loses the position. Rogue is sideways. Rogue loses position to Chipsy, Creamy, and now Righteous has pulled out that gap that he so desperately needed. He's got 1.5 seconds. That puts him out of DRS range, and now Chipsy is contending with Creamy. Sahil into DRS range, lots of energy. Gore has a decent amount of energy left, but Sahil has his DRS. Sahil puts it into 2. I don't know what he's waiting for. If he wants to get this move done, he's got to get it done. He's got to do it this stint. I don't think it will work that well if he tries to get him in the next stint, because your charge doesn't carry that well over. Sahil in danger of losing his DRS, actually. Ruda loses it. Ruda is sideways, resets the track, and Righteous might be able to Righteous will definitely be able to get the move done here. Ruda, there's no sense defending here, goes to the inside in hopes that he might be able to make it for the corner, but no. Righteous was, of course, on full power from the start of that turn, and Ruda was not, so that is that. Hey, Crazy Joe Beast, I don't want to become famous. That seems like a very bad thing to do. I don't want to be a follow-on bot, but I'm not a mod, so I can't delete that comment. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Now, Gore, not using his energy on this straight, or maybe he did for the middle section, deciding to save it. Thank you, whoever deleted that message. Gore's back up to 40% of his energy. Sahil's got 100. He puts it into 3. Sahil's got to... Listen, I don't want to tell anyone how to drive, but if I was Sahil, I would have gone into 4 on that straight, put it into 2 for the next section, and put it onto 4 for the next straight, and just prayed that Gore did not have the energy. Ruda gets past Righteous. Prayed that Gore would not have the energy. Gore riding off... Thank you. Gore riding off track, he got a bit wide, decided to continue that line, would have lost time coming back on. And Sahil getting very, very close to Gore now. He's just got to put it up. He's bleeding Gore of his energy. He's just got to put it up into overtake and get by, because it is pit time for them. They're on 60% on the rears. Gore and Sahil have fairly close tire wear patterns. So will Sahil risk staying out on the less, the not as good tires, trying to put in that time, or will he be unable to find it? Now, we haven't seen many people switch over. Rogue just switched over to mediums, so I don't think that'll take him to the end of the race. 37 laps on mediums. Well, if they did 20 on softs, it probably will. My mistake. They'll do mediums and softs. And as I was speaking, Gore dives in. Now this is Sahil's time to chuck it into hot lap, put in a banger in lap, put in a banger out lap, and really just set the distance. Wow. Gore doesn't believe in his tire management abilities, goes and bolts on the hards. I would say that it might have been a close call, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see how long the mediums last. But it looks like Sahil still saving energy. Will not be doing, as I said, and putting in a banger of an in lap. If he is even putting in an in lap, he might try to overtake by 2. Not a great idea. His tire's on 65% wear. Sahil, if you're trying that, don't. But good for him. He's put in 16 second gap. He won't come in the middle of the pack. He'll come in. He is staying out. Sahil, my boy, that is risk. Okay, just a little bit of simple math here. He wears his tire at least 3% per lap. He risks not only the lower lap times of an older set of tires. Gore is on the hards. Actually, I can check your lap times. I'll do that in a minute. But it's a risk for Sahil to stay out on older, softer compound, but still older, because if Gore is able to set in faster and faster lap times on that hard than Sahil is able to on the softs, what he's doing is essentially just losing ground. But if Sahil is able to put in faster laps, why not stay out? The other answer to that, if he is able to match or exceed Gore's lap time, is because his tire wear is currently 70%. He ducks into the pit at 69% tire wear. That was easily puncture territory, and we'll have to see where he comes out. Following Gore now. Gore, in the run-up to the penultimate corner, is fighting guys with newer tires, older tires, but softer. Sahil goes onto the medium, so they're now on counter strategies. They're on differing strategies. I think Sahil thinks he can make it to the end, and does he come out? He does not come out ahead of Gore. Gore will get by. Oh, it is so close into that corner. No, but Sahil is on the softer compound. This will be an interesting matchup. And not only do you have to consider that now Sahil's tires, after they get warmed up to temperature, Sahil's got full energy to really push Gore up into... They're back up into 3rd and 4th, and Sahil goes for the move, doesn't get it, has a bit of contact, goes wide. But you have to consider that not only will his tires might be softer and better once they get up to temperature now, but in the later stages of the race, will worn hards be better than worn mediums? And you have to wonder, maybe or maybe not, maybe actually Sahil will have to really, really push, and he'll pit with. Actually, I wouldn't say he would pit again. No, if he's going for the mediums, I don't think he can make the softs last in a way, or make the softs dead in a way that would be advantageous. So it will be a one-stop. And he goes for the move now. Does he get it done? Yes, tentatively he does. Gore has the... Oh! Gore has a moment. either Gore has a moment or he banged the side pond of Sakil. It wasn't entirely clear from my point of view. At least I couldn't tell without a replay. But Sakil does get by, and he's going to be working to get in that gap, and he's got the energy to do it. He's got the energy and the DRS to do it. I think Gore will have a bit of a hard time fighting him back for this one. And I think that move kind of sealed it. Sakil's just got to do a good job of not making any mistakes, keeping a tight pace. Gore's just got to make those hards work for him, get them up onto temperature, which he is doing. They're a bit cold. Sakil now into second, effectively first. Yeah, Sakil into first, Gore into second. That is that distance for the leaders. Creamy is Creamy is now behind Righteous by less than half a second. Chipsy in. Chipsy's losing positions. Shazam's also in, so that'll be the other McLaren pitting. Creamy trying to get by Righteous there. I think Creamy will have it on this straight. Yes, he does. Looks like he will. Sails by cleanly. Righteous and Gore on identical strategies. Sorry, they're on identical strategies, and I'm paid to see if it works out for them. And if you'll excuse me for a minute, I have to adjust my timing screen because I'm still on the qualifying timing. There we go. And there we are. So hopefully you guys will be able to see hopefully you guys will be able to see the ooh, I just made that too big. Yeah, that'll be fine. So yeah, so hopefully you guys will be able to see the timing chart now. Unfortunately, I did have to cut off these stints, but I can still see that, so that's all right. And Jubilate now up into third on 15 lap old mediums. I believe that indicates that he might have had an issue. Oh, I didn't realize we had a DNF already. That indicates he might have had an issue because he took the first set of softs up to 11 laps, whereas everyone else took them just about 20, and then switched to another set of softs for 15 laps, meaning I'm actually not sure what his plan is here. He'll have to switch fairly soon. His tires wouldn't be too degraded by now, but he'll probably have to switch at some point into mediums to make the strategy work for him. Now Gore, to Gore and Chips is actually a bit closer to the DMR guy, and Van is within DRS range of the racing point. Chipsy getting on power early there. That's not a helpful game. You'll be going for the move now. Gets by without incident. DMR is on a lot older mediums than he is. And if I was that Haas, that Haas may have to give that position back because he just got a warning. And he did repass Chips. So that'll be interesting to see. But if I was that Haas guy, I'd be pitting fairly soon to try to take these my next set of softs all the way to the end, because he doesn't have much time left to make that strategy work. back up to the front runners. Sahil is just making it work. He's putting in a decent enough gap down the corner. And if we're looking at the tire lives, that DMR guy's taking his, sorry, the Haas, he's taken his mediums 25 laps, so that bodes fairly well for Sahil's strategy of taking his tires to the end. And so it's just a matter of whether Sahil believes he could take his mediums another 27 laps to the end, which would effectively make it 34 laps on those tires. And it looks like in 8 laps time we'll find out whether that's a viable strategy. And it's not so much about whether this DMR guy can make it work and actually last that long. It's about whether he'll be competitive or if he'll start falling off a lot in the next 8 laps. Now if we go back up to Sahil, sorry, I'm having a bit of a coughing fit. If we go back up to Sahil, we can see he's taking about 2% tire wear per lap. He's been on these for 8 laps so far, and he's up to 16% wear on the back. Now, if we're thinking, if he wants to get this up to 60% wear, he lasts to lap 53, according to my simulation. But if we just drag it to puncture territory, if we make him go to lap 70, he gets just barely over the required time to 58 laps. So thank you, dickhead. So the end goal for him will be to either just save a bit of tire life every lap and maintain this gap, or if he thinks he can make it to the end with slightly worn tires. Well, I say slightly worn, they're going to be obviously very worn. It'll be questioning the final laps of whether he gets a puncture or not, and whether he'll be able to maintain this gap to Gore or not on the tires that have fallen essentially off a cliff edge by getting up to 70% wear, or if these tires actually perform fairly well. And if we go down to Gore, we can see he's wearing also about 2% a lap, and he actually will get to 70% wear by the end of the race as well. But he's banking on his middle section of the tire life, which is, you know, in 10 laps or so to the end, on being just a bit faster than Sahil's, because they are on similar enough tire lives. It'll just be it's performance through degradation, essentially. Ruda getting very close to Creamy John. C as DRS on the next straight, and we'll probably be going for a move here. Ruda getting by. Creamy can't quite switch back, but he is pushing that other Merc through the corners now. And DMR's into the pits. That'll be his strategy complete. And he made those mediums last 32 laps. So that bodes very well for Sahil. Good night, Phil. See you out. But as I said, Gore's starting to cut into that time of its heel, so we'll have to see whether his midlife performance on those tires are really that much better, or whether, admittedly, I wasn't following these guys that long, whether that was a mistake on either of their parts. That's Road getting by the Racing Point. Racing Point taking it back, presumably through turn 2. And now Creamy very close on the rear of Rudda. I imagine Creamy will be looking to take that position back on the pit lane straight. DMR on fresh soft will be looking to take a position from the vulnerable Jordan, who's gotten 27 laps on the starts. Whose last lap time was a 1 minute 3 seconds, so that's just about the time that Gore can expect for the end. And of course the DMR that passes him without trouble. Wizard getting a bit bent out of shape there. Road getting by the Art Racing Point again. This will be Creamy. No. Creamy decides to back out of a move on Rudda. It would have been too late to move out to one side. Decides to break early, follow his line instead. Gap starting to form now. Jordan, with the aid of DRS, is actually holding on quite well with his aged targets. Racing Point following up that road fairly well. The Racing Point does have fresher, softer tires. Road will be looking to go to the inside to defend, coming just. Oh! That's a lot of contact there. Road taking an aggressive line, trying to scare that Racing Point off of his racing line. Creamy has had a fairly good recovery, especially considering what happened to him towards the start of the race. And part of the good recovery from him was nailing his tire strategy. A lot of the other guys on recovery, such as Jordan, you can see he's down the path because his tire choice really wasn't that great. He's coming up into lap 30 of his hards now, and he's really nowhere to be found. What he should have done is been more aggressive, kept in the fighting, and followed back up, and then going for a long and hard play. Creamy gets past his Merc teammate. But I'm sure that'll be a jump back on this straight. Creamy going in the middle of the road to take up as much room as possible. Very close to contact there, but it goes just a bit further on the outside. But they're both coming in very close here. Very good wheel-to-wheel race. Creamy gets maybe not shoved, but held a bit wide. His line wasn't compromised, but it wasn't aided either. And was that a misshift from Creamy? I think Creamy either let off or had a little bit of a misshift there. Could have easily gotten by. Maybe he chose to let Rudda keep that position. To keep him in the DRS zone for this next straight. Which won't bode well for Creamy, considering Rudda has the ERS advantage. They're banging wheels again. No damage it seems. Wizard gets by the Renault. Or sorry, he held that. It was Daniel going into the pits. Haas is now passed on his final tires of the race. Daniel going for mediums to the end. Yes, he did. Let him by so you get the DRS projection point. And it seems to have paid off. He's still in the lead, but just barely, because Red's now gonna get revenge, and with more energy stored available, I don't think this will be a particularly hard move. Rudda not committing entirely to one line, he goes for the middle send up. It does look like Radical is doing quite a bit. 30 seconds on cruise. I'm wondering if he's trying something new, setup or something. Oh yeah. I think he said something about getting either new pedals, new wheel, or something. Some addition to his setup. Oh! Rudda gets bent out of shape, allowing Creamy to go far past. He resets the track with Righteous passing him as well. That's losing 2 positions off of that mistake. Right into the gravel trap. Man has reflexes of a lion going for the reset to track that quickly. It does certainly look like our top 3 will be Sahil, Gore, and Creamy. The only final question will be, can Gore, in the dying of Sahil's tires, and his tires, mind you, close that gap up just a bit, or will Sahil bin it, as he has done in the past on some tracks? Who knows? He'll need to be uber consistent going through the rest of the race. There's a few laps left, 60 more condensed laps, mind you, so probably like 8 real laps left. A decent amount of energy in reserve. Gore looks like he's about to lap down. The safety car would be pretty incredible for this race. Jordan into the pits on 34 lap old mediums. I don't think he has tire wear publicly available, so I'm not sure what the wear for that was. Oh, he does have wear available. I'm sorry, they weren't mediums, they were hards. And it didn't look like they were that wear, so I'm gonna go back and check what Righteous is at. Righteous currently at 30%. He's doing a decent amount of fuel saving, I think. Sorry, not fuel saving, tire saving, so he might be in a good enough shape by the end of the race, but Sahil is just that much further ahead of him, keeping a 3.5 second gap to him. Not sure what you mean by what happened. Oh, with Rad? Oh, I didn't even realize he was hurt. I'm not sure. Maybe he was almost a lap behind. He was almost a lap behind Kreese, who's in 17th, so I imagine he might not want to stay that much longer, but he could have also put in a wall. Who knows? He's on a new setup. Oh, I didn't even consider that. I need to check what the penalties look like. because I don't think our front runners picked up any, but that would certainly change the course of the race if they had. Because that would mean that Sahil... Ooh, this is bad news for Gore. Gore has 3 seconds of penalty, Sahil has 0 seconds. So that certainly does, I think, seal the top 3. Haas getting by the Red Bull there. And Sahil's putting in laps that are just about tenths faster than Gore, and it looks to be coming mostly in the second sector. There's a first sector, yeah. And so he's definitely finding time making that gap work for him. That's not gonna call it weaving, but a bit of a creative line from the McLaren there. Gore saved a decent amount of sorry, not Gore Road. He saved a decent amount of energy on him. Shazam also has a decent amount of energy, and he also has DRS from the back marker. Completely forgot that was a thing. Ruda is now just a second behind Righteous. He didn't get slipstream. Righteous dodging just a bit there. Ooh, the racing point of Daniel picks up a ignoring blue flags penalty of 5 seconds. Let it be known, even though our blue flags. Oh yeah. Sorry. Hards do look like they're just about to kick. Yo, Road just loses just slightly there. Loses about let's call it 6 tenths on Shazam in front of him. And yeah, it looks like Gore's cut that gap in about 5 or 6 tenths. The problem Gore will be facing is, even if he can catch up to Sahil, he needs to essentially gain 6 seconds on Sahil by now, because Gore has a 3-second time penalty, and Sahil does not have one. So regardless of what he can do, I don't think it's realistic to put in that gap. That being said, Sahil just destroyed Gore's Sector 1 time. Sahil put in 22.9, and Gore put in a 23.2, a 24.3, and a 24.4, respectively, and a 15.3 for Sahil. So Sahil just beat Gore's last time by 4 tenths in the last lap. And his overall, he didn't actually beat his overall personal best ever. Oh well. That might have been Gore using his energy reserves a lot on the last lap, and we can see, on his personal best lap, and we can see that Sahil is playing up into the 90s. Now this is something I like. I like to have a lot of energy to play with in the later sections of the race, but I can tell you, from personal experience, it's not the best strategy. He's just has far too much energy to really play with right now. He should focus on continuing to cap with about 60, much like Gore is doing right now. So he's going mode 0 on the straights, but you know, he doesn't need to build up a gap, but it's still nice to build that gap in case. What he could do is he could push it on the straights into a higher, a higher ERS mode, simply because it's not as risky to go fast on the straights as it is to really push it in the corner, especially on aged tires. And we're coming up to a point where tire age is really, really mattering now. Sahil's got a 50% wear on his... sorry, about 52% wear on his rears. I just want to see... Sahil is running with a +1 fuel about, and Gore is straddling the line with a 0.1 laps of fuel left. So not only does Sahil have the energy to play with, he also has fuel loads to play with. He should really think about running a rich for a decent, you know, stretch of time. We can see he is saving on the straights. He's into mode 1 on fuel mix 1 on straights and mode 0 on ERN. Like, this is straights are safe time you can gain by burning your energy and burning your fuel. See, he's up into mode 5 on the straights for the first half, and then he brings it back down into 0. My man, you save the rest of the lap, and you're bouncing between, you know, 70 and 90%. Like, use some of this energy. Get far. You don't need to be this cautious with it, especially considering that, you know, Gore is taking some time out of you right now. He's not catching that fast, but maybe he knows he has a penalty, maybe he doesn't. But either way, like, even if Sahil's clear and he knows that Gore has a penalty, Sahil could easily pick up a penalty in the dying seven laps of the race. It's not hard, even if he has, you know, 2 warnings right now. He's just playing a bit cautious in the wrong places. Jordan setting the fastest lap of the race with a 101.8. Remember, our pole time was a 59.4, I believe. So that'll be close. Righteous might be gearing up for a move on Ruda. Ruda's got a lot of energy to play with. Righteous going. Ooh. I don't think that was braking yet, but Ruda did wait a decent... Oh! Righteous runs into him because he parks it on the apex, and he's pushing him through these turns. But Ruda did pick a late moment to really go for his time. Shazam picks up a penalty for multiple warnings. Righteous having to look down the inside isn't far enough along to actually do anything with it. Still in a high engine mode. He's got to safe through the next corner complex if he wants to think about another move on the street. And Righteous actually picked up a bit of wing damage. He's up to 20% from that contact with Ruda. And coming into the straight, it doesn't look like Righteous will be able to do much. He will be able to hang in because of DRS. But just barely. He's 1.1 seconds behind. And you know, Ruda isn't in danger of getting DRS from him ahead, but Righteous has got to think about using that DRS to really save up energy for... He has maybe two chances in the coming laps to really overtake Ruda. He's got to save for the next lap or so, and then he could go, and if that doesn't work, he might have to think about saving until the final 2 laps or something, and really pressing him there. But, if I remember correctly... Righteous doesn't need to do shit. Ruda has a 6-second time penalty. So, I'm talking out of my ass. That is Righteous's position if he can maintain at least 5 seconds of pace. If he doesn't lose 5 seconds, Righteous comes in 4th. Now, going back to Gore, Gore is taking 4 tenths at a Sahil here. Sahil still being very cautious with his ERS. At this point, you've got to wonder what his plan is. But Sahil is up to 60% wear on his tire, on his rear left. That will be the tire that what do you call it? That wears the most. But That it would be very unlucky if he gets a puncture in the final couple of laps, because he would just barely be entering that territory. Oh, that's a move and a half from Rogue and the Haas driver there. That's not that's a friendly how do you do. Looks like the Haas is trying to squeeze him a bit. Rogue, the Ferrari getting a bit up, still straddles the line. It'll be interesting to see what the Haas does, considering their energy situation. I'd say the Ferrari, while ahead on track position and ahead with energy, doesn't have the best. And the Haas picks up a penalty for cutting that corner. Oh, I know. Yep, that was a bad move from that Haas, because now the Ferrari, I believe, is going to have the DRS with all of the energy he has. The Haas has no energy whatsoever, and that is smooth sailing down from the Ferrari right there. He'll get by fairly quickly, fairly well. And Haas going for a bit of an optimistic move, loses a lot of time. That'll put him outside of DRS range and likely won't recover it. Rogue does have very worn tires, but the softs are at the end of their lifespan for the Haas as well. It's just a question of who's faster when. And if you see, Righteous has lost 2.5 seconds-ish to Ruda. He'll still keep that position, of course, because of penalties. Just no on-track overtakes from him, presumably, because there's only 3 laps left. And that'd be some mighty lap times from Righteous to pluck that back up. There's a slight danger, perhaps. Oh, another fastest of the session. That is a 101.7 from Cubeler in the Renault with very worn mediums, actually. Good for him. Yeah, Righteous has got to focus on just making sure that he gets two gaps. Sorry, that he doesn't drop back by 2 seconds in the next 3 laps or so. And Sahil will be starting to feel the pressure. He's on 65% wear on that tire. But at this point, no matter what happens on track, if he can just keep it clean, if he loses, like, you know, half a second a lap for the next, if he loses a second a lap for the next, you know, 2 laps until the race is done, he'll still win this race. Even if he loses, you know, a second and a half by taking extremely cautious lines, he'll still win because of penalties. It's just whether he knows that or not. And it looks like he started to burn a lot of his energy now that he's realized that Gore is really putting the pressure to him. It looks like, oh, the Haas will be going for a move on the Ferrari. Ferrari lets him by, but the Haas is low energy. So is the Ferrari, actually. This will be a fight that will last until the end. The Ferrari. With 6 seconds of penalties, the Haas with 15 seconds of penalties, so I think there's a clear winner in this fight, though. Yeah. Looks like the Renault will be closing up really well on that McLaren. Looks like Wizard actually gets by Rogue. Did Rogue have an incident? I feel like Rogue may have had contact, because he lost a lot of time to DMR. Oh, who was that just spinning? That's Creamy! Oh no, Creamy! Oh, wait, that was a reset to track and a half. That probably shouldn't have happened. But that's Righteous by. Righteous into 4th. That'll be an on-track overtake regardless of the penalty situation. I think Righteous would have had that position anyway, but that is on track now. And Rudo's got to really fight to get back up there. Sahil having a bit of, not trouble, but trailing a back record. Sakhil's on 0.3% lap. He's going to start a bit of fuel saving. Oh, Gore is on 0 laps left of fuel. He's going to have to maybe lift and coast the final corner, but this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final turn of the Grand Prix. Sakhil weaving, saluting the pit lane. Oh, Rogue retires. That is your winner of the Bahrain short is Sakhil. Gore in a close second. Creamy in a... What happened to Righteous? How did Creamy get back by? What? What happened? Did I miss something? I think I missed something. Oh my lord. Creamy takes 3rd position. Righteous, I don't think... what's his penalty situation? No, Righteous won't be able to take it. Regardless of penalties, Righteous takes 4th position rather than 3rd. Oh, sorry. Yes, I did confuse the mercs. My bad. Ruta coming 5th, Shazam coming 6th. Edmonds coming 7th, pending. Nope, 8th. We lost 2 positions actually by the end. And that is the end of the Bahrain Short Grand Prix. Congratulations to Sakhil, the winner of a 10, count it, 1, 2, $10 gift card on Steam, provided by Van Beats. What a nice guy. And you know what I get? You know what I get for commentating this whole thing? Enjoyment and a sore throat. Thank you. This has been GSR. We have a website command now that you feel free to try out in our chat, although I feel like nobody else is watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all had a swell time, and that'll be it from me. Goodbye.